Ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world on U.S. satellite broadcasting, it's time for the main event of the evening, a 10-round heavyweight special attraction. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing white trunks with red trim, joining us from Lodi, New Jersey. He weighed in at 243 pounds. His hard-hitting record stands at 14 wins, 2 losses, with 13 big wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing Leo, the Lion Loiacono. And his opponent across the ring on my right, he is fighting out of the red corner in our 10-round main event, wearing black trunks with gold trim, hailing from Newark, New Jersey. He weighed in at 238 pounds. He's an Olympic gold medalist. As a professional, his record stands at 24 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, with 16 wins coming by way of knockout. Currently ranked one of the top 5 heavyweights in the world by the WBC, WBA, and IBF. Here is the former WBO heavyweight champion of the world, Merciless Ray Mercer. Once again, a referee in charge now to give instructions, Bill Connors.
All right, so we're just about set to go as the referee, Bill Connors, a very experienced ref, calls the 2 fighters to the center of the ring. You notice one thing, that Ray Mercer has a knee brace on his right leg.
All right, you both got your instructions in the dressing room. I want you to listen to my commands at all times. I expect a clean fight from both of you. I expect you to keep yourself protected at all times. Any questions on this side? Any questions on this side? Touch gloves. Good luck to you guys.
All right, who's going to be the teacher tonight? We know that Leo the Lion Loiacono is a school teacher up in New Jersey, in Patterson. But this guy has been his teacher, Ray Mercer, in the ring. And will a student take over, or will this professor that we're looking at right now teach him a lesson of what it means when you have no headgear and you're not training? That's what it's all about. Here we go. Mercer won't try to force the knockout. Now, if Mercer looks a little paunchy to you at 238, he is, but he's getting himself back into shape. It's his first fight back. He's a little bit heavy around the middle, to be sure, but he doesn't want to get down too fine, because he's going to fight 3 or 4 times before he fights for a title shot, and each time he'll lose 5 to 7 pounds. So as the competition gets stiffer, his cut sort of body will be improving all the time. This is round number 1. For Loiacono, he just wants to feel out the guy that he's sparred with so many times to see what he can do for real in there. See, he respects the punching power, and he's caught already. He may be hurt already. He's trying to fight back as best he can, but Mercer knows what to do. Big left hand over the ear. Loiacono is used to knocking out, you know, the small guys in the heavyweight division. And with a big punch like that, it's a whole lot different with a guy that really knows what to do and knows how to cover up. This is round 1. It's scheduled for 10. It's not going to go 10 rounds, folks. There's going to be a knockout here before it's over. I will guarantee you that. It's just a quick. If Montel Johnson says to me, I totally agree. In talking to Ray yesterday, he said, you know, I want to look good, but I'm not going to force the knockout. If it comes, it comes. The problem for Loiacono is he's used to knocking out opponents, but he never fought anyone with a steel jaw like this guy. Big question is, following the neck operation, does Ray Mercer still have that steel jaw? And so far, he's held up against everything that Loiacono has had to throw. Loiacono honestly looks a little bit tentative, although he landed a pretty good left hand that time, followed by the right hand. But you see, Mercer knows how to cover up. Against lesser opponents, either one of those shots could have dropped them.
Ray Mercer's a veteran. He knows that this is his last hurrah, and I think he's going to do the job tonight.
And he's fought the best, too, you know, in Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, you know, all the guys like that throughout his career. Larry Holmes, Jesse Ferguson, he lost to, but he came back and beat Ferguson. But right now, he wants to get a little bit of work for real. Bangs the body of big Roy Loiacono. Kind of a magnificent physical specimen. And really a nice guy. And Ray Mercer's a nice guy, too. I mean, it's hard to take sides in this one. Mercer, an Army brat. His dad born in Jacksonville, Florida. Makes his home in Newark, New Jersey. And he had a terrific amateur career, too, as he won the gold medal at the Seoul Olympics. Looping right hand gets through. And so Loiacono's going to feel pretty good. He survived that first round against his teacher and merciless Ray Mercer. Let's go to the corner with Mercer. Tommy Parks, Anthony Ham, Percy Richardson over there. We'll listen in.
Don't punch and then step as you jab. Get up and rest. You can breathe. Turn up. Sit up. Sit up. Sit up. When you come, give me a little water. Step with that jab. You're doing all right. Just step double.
Yeah, Bobby gets some action, some early round action by Ray Mercer. You can see here, Bobby got him in the corner. Ray Mercer's experience is going to take the toll in this fight here. Ray Mercer got so much more experience, and you can see it.
Now, one thing this kid needs to do when he gets caught in the corner like this, once those hands come down, man, you got to get out of there. He get clipped pretty good. This kid might have a pretty good job, but I don't know how long he can stand up to that kind of assault by Ray Mercer.
Not long.
All right. We're coming up to round number 2. And again, if you say, hey, Mercer doesn't look like he's in shape, he is in a lot better shape than you realize. He has that heavy sort of body. And some guys have that thickness around the middle. But again, he's not in the peak shape. You can't be absolutely fine for every fight. And he's going to work himself down probably another 10 or 12 pounds. And that'll take that mid-drift away. And you'll see his body much more cut the next time out. But right now, and of course, going against a guy like Loiacono, who has a magnificent-looking body, and he's hit, he's on the ropes, and he goes down. Loiacono will take the 8 count. It's up to 5 and 6. He may be really hurt, but the 7 and 8, oh, he's going to make it. 9, he's trying to get up, and he says no, he can't make it. And then afterwards, Bill Connor says, no, it's too late. You didn't make the 10 count. The crowd not particularly crazy about what happened. The problem is that happens so many times, and you know as a fighter, a guy gets up at 12 and says, hey, I'm okay. But it's a 10 count. The referee had to make the decision. And Bill actually slowed down the count to give him every opportunity. And Loiacono just wasn't there. And then a second later, 2 seconds later, he was fine.
Ray Mercer is a true warrior, Bob.
Well, a second round knockout, and Loiacono almost can't believe he's not hurt now. He would have liked to perform better, but he was really cut pretty good. And we'll show you a couple of different angles of this. And let's see what happens. It's a big right hand gets through, and the left gets him in trouble. Now he's hurt with the left hand. He's really hurt here. Ray loads that right hand back up, but it was the left hand that did the damage.
Yeah, the hook hurt him. It was definitely the hook. The left hook hurt him.
And this angle will be even better to see it. Right there gets him started, and then bang, right there is a good left hand. And he's hurt here, and he tries to get out of the way. He's sitting on the ropes, doesn't quite know what to do, and that's inexperience. He should have shot off those ropes and get out of there.
Exactly. This is where experience takes its toll on an inexperienced fighter.
And quite honestly, the inexperience has him intimidated, too, by Mercer, because he's felt the power of Mercer. The only difference is he's felt it with headgear on in the gym, as Ray Mercer. So Ray came out and did what he had to do. All right, let's go and get the official timing from Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the time of 46 seconds in round number 2, our referee in charge, Bill Connors, reaches the count of 10. He's the winner by way of knockout, merciless Ray Mercer.
All right, I'm going to make my way up into the ring, Vonzel, to find out what Ray has to say. So I'm going to slide over here. And Vonzel, you kind of give us a summation, and you have a chat. When I get up there, I'll take it. We'll talk to Ray.
Well, I felt that, you know, experience. Ray has definitely brought some experience in this fight. And,
Get too much respect.
I feel that Leo was a little intimidated. I've been a sparring partner. Sometimes that happens too. You know, you get an event like this, you fight against your former sparring partner, which is a great fighter like Ray Mercer, and he was a little bit intimidating. As you can see here, here's the right hand, and the hook is what started all the trouble for Leo. The first hook hurt him, and down he went. Well, here we look like the Colonel is almost in position to talk to Ray Mercer.
All right, I've got Ray Mercer with me, and Ray, we're going to turn around this way. We got the camera over here. Ray, you told me that you wouldn't force the knockout if it came, and it did come.
Actually, I know Leo. He knows me. I expect a little more work, you know. I caught it with a good fake shot, and it went down. You know, what can I say?
Well, the big thing is he caught you a couple of times in the first round. I think it was important for this is that I was concerned about your neck, Ray, to see after the operation how it hold up. You were able to certainly absorb everything that he had. He is a big, strong guy, and the fact that he hit you and it didn't bother your neck, I think is the most important thing of this whole fight. No question you're the class fighter here.
Right. You know, I didn't even think about the neck until you just mentioned it. You know, and it takes a couple of punches. It takes the guy to hit me a couple of times to get me going. You know, that's what I was really waiting on. But he was throwing wide punches, and I kept my hand up, and he couldn't get nothing, you know.
Well, tell me this. What do you hope to do with the career now? I'm going to bring Don King in after I talk to you and find out exactly what's going to happen. But what would you like to see happen with you, Ray?
I'd like to go back to the gym, straight back to the gym, and I'd like Don to go to work and my manager to go to work on what we need to do to get either Lennox Lewis or Evander Holyfield to get a title shot or something. But I'm ready. I'm ready, man.
Well, let me tell you something. I've been with Don King for 30 years. I've been broadcasting his fights for 25, and I will guarantee you that you're going to get one of those two guys.
Well, I certainly take that in the heart there, Colonel.
I tell you, Ray, I enjoyed meeting you this week. I look forward to working with you continually now. I know you're a little disappointed you didn't get more work, but you got all you needed. You knocked the guy out. That's what you came here to do.
Right. I had fun, and it was very nice having interviews with you and dealing with you, too. And I look forward to the next time, Colonel.
All right, this is Ray Mercer for you. You're going to see a lot more here on USSB and on King Vision. And now if I can slide the master promoter in here. Ray, stand by here because Don may have a few things that you may want.
Must system will be Chuck Champa, Art Lurie, and Dave Moretti. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, referee Kenny Bayless. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Aladdin Hotel and Casino of Las Vegas, Nevada, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white, gold, red, and blue, and weighing in at 250 pounds. His professional record is 16-2, 11 of his 16 victories by KO. He comes to us originally from Romania, but now fighting out of the Costamato Boxing Club in the Catskills, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Dancusa. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white, trimmed in black, and weighing 225 pounds. From Rio Dosa, New Mexico, his professional record is 24-5, 18 by KO. He's known as the man from down under, James Thunder.
Let's go. Okay, fellas, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to caution to obey my commands at all times. I want the fight to be clean at all times. Good luck to both of you. Touch gloves.
Two-time Australian champion who made the move to the United States 9 months ago, now living in New Mexico. He has had 6 fights since coming to the U.S., 6 victories, and he has really become a student of the game. You take a look at the body, you would think he is a slugger. That's what he was, but now he is learning the box, and he is bringing tremendous confidence in the ring, and boom, right off the bat, the two heavyweights look to take one another out. They know they'll be in front of each other all night long. They are carved from similar molds, hard punchers who like to load up and throw at one time, and two fighters who are now trying to develop boxing skills as they head closer and closer to the top 10 in the heavyweight division. And here they are, Sean, going head-to-head at this point in the career. And this is something, unfortunately, we don't see too often in boxing right now. They're just they're throwing down the gauntlet. Who will continue? Who will take a step back? You know, last year, I believe, no two heavyweight top 10 contenders faced one another. I mean, outside of a champion against a top 10. But
well, it's dangerous to do because all of the money is in when you fight for the heavyweight championship of the world. James Thunder said, I just want to keep active. Then he said, maybe that's why I'm not rated in the top 10. Who knows?
This is Dan Cuta's first 10-round scheduled fight. It's also his first Let's Get Ready to Rumble fight, so he's stepped up in the world here tonight. But he does not have the experience to compare with Thunder, who comes off two 12-round victories over ex-world champions. Great learning experiences against Tony Tubbs and Trevor Berbick. Dan Cuda has never gone 10. He's gone 8 once. He's gone 6 on 2 occasions. And other than those 3 fights, has never gone beyond 4. He did fight Tony Tubbs, but that was in that heavyweight tournament in Biloxi where it was only for 3 rounds. And the question is, can this young fighter do it under pressure? He has yet to be tested in this kind of situation, but he comes in with that great confidence. He's been working on that, what he and Kevin Rooney are calling the move. You see Vinny Pazienza do it quite a bit. Tyson, of course, likes to roll and worked under Kevin Rooney, and originally coming from Customato, but Rooney says that Dan Cuda has picked it up so quickly.
Oh, yeah, the pivots he's talking about. You pivot over, get the angle on your opponent, and then unload. Big power is Dan Cuda, but Thunder punching back. Dan Cuda listens, he follows directions in fights, and Kevin Rooney says, that's what I need to build me a champion. Someone who will follow what I want him to do. Good overhand right from Thunder. Thunder had to do something. Dan Cuda is overpowering him. There is a good uppercut from James Thunder. What a difference in a fighter with James Thunder.
The left by Thunder. You know, and Thunder now with some combination.
Yeah.
He has always had that tendency once he gets in the trenches to slug. He doesn't want to do that. But he's slugging out Dan Cuda here in the late seconds of the first.
Right. Yeah, it was back at the end of this first round where the Thunder started booming in the head of Dan Cuda. Jimmy Thunder with these thunderous overhand rights coming back with the left hooks. He is brawling early in this match. One thing that he is trying to get out of doing. But you know, you see his mouthpiece hanging out of his mouth. That is a very dangerous thing to do. He's already tested the strength in that first round of Dan Cuda. Dan Cuda was mauling all over on top of him. He had to do something to turn this fight around, and Thunder did it by punching Dan Cuda, making him run into something, make him take a step back.
Kevin Rooney in the corner of Dan Cuda, telling him you got to get off, you got to throw more punches. But Rooney indicated one of the reasons that he is in the corner with Dan Cuda, said that this is one tough kid who has the will, and he says that's what he always looked at, and that's what Customato always looked at first in sizing up a fighter, something they certainly found in Mike Tyson.
Yeah, you got to have a kid that is tough. He said he takes a good shot. He's got very fast hands. He's mean. Still trying to settle him down, though, and control his temper is Kevin Rooney of Dan Cuda. Now, if you're in there with a fighter like Thunder, whose mouth is open, you got to go for that mouth if you're Dan Cuda. Try to hit your opponent right in that mouthpiece. Right now, Dan Cuda must do something to turn the tide of this fight.
And he is a fighter who can turn the tide with one shot. What Dan Cuda is looking for, watch James Thunder's left. He has a tendency to hold the left down low, and Dan Cuda's best punch is the right.
Yeah, and look at Dan Cuda's hands, too. And Dan Cuda, that's been that Kevin Rooney training, hands up around your face. You protect your face with those hands. You hide behind them. You know, one thing that James Thunder, they're going to have a lot of trouble with him later in this fight if it goes that long, because look at these shots from James. Every punch is a home run. Every shot he's throwing is a lot of energy, a lot of power, but he's not connecting. Not like he was in the first round.
You know, Alex Stewart, who was here earlier, talking about James Thunder, and he says, you know, sometimes he doesn't look impressive, but he always finds a way to win. He's a hard worker and seems to be tireless. I mean, he's gone 12 rounds in each of his last 3 fights, beating Berbick, Tubbs, and Richard Mason.
Oh, yeah, he's a tough kid, but what I'm worried about is those jungle tactics that he's talked about in the past. He goes out and he just tries to brawl with his opponent. Oh, big right hand. Dancuta's hurt.
15 seconds to go. Dancouta wobbling. You cannot be saved by the bell unless...
That's all.
Oh, Bayless has stopped it here in the second round. James Thunder comes out strong.
Unload. Right hands crumbling, and they quickly get the stool in there to set down Dancouta. Power punching. Every shot was a home run, and finally finding the sweet spot. James Thunder, just as I'm talking about, if he'd have gone much longer, James might have been winded. A lot of power from him, though.
All the confidence coming from the Dancouta corner coming into the fight. But James Thunder, very calm, said, will he be able to box? And Thunder outboxing Dancouta early, opening it up, and then slugging him out in impressive fashion. Thunder with the early knockout in the main event. Dan Dancouta trying to figure this out. You heard him before the game, who said it before the fight.
Like his chances. Again, we'll find out. The third man in the ring is Mills Lane. Remember him? He refereed Holmes against Norton. He refereed up at Tahoe in another fight we called Ali against Foster. The time Ali was cut. Okay, the action is underway. Norton to the right of your screen, Shavers in the white trunks.